about to draw a little Evangelion and a little bit of Rugrats.
It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful life, and of all the things you could be doing right now, you are choosing to spend a few minutes of your day with me, and I really do appreciate you for it. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to be honoring two of my favorite animes. One of them, Rugrats, is set in a fantastical world where babies can communicate with one another, and with a dog where they go on crazy adventures, and most unbelievably of all, inventor in this world is a job title. That's right, Stu Pickles, Tommy Pickles' father, from the I've lost control of my life at 4 a.m. meme. That man's official job title is inventor. Now that fact alone really ages the show. Shows that it comes from a time when you could tell kids, in good consciousness, that some made-up shit is a job title and not feel a crushing social responsibility to give them more realistic options instead. And it wasn't just Rugrats doing this, they taught it to us in schools. Like most people my age, we got old enough to start doing pills recreationally before we figured out that inventor isn't a real fucking job. In elementary school or in primary school, how some people call it, they would just tell us, you could be this, you could be that, you could be an engineer, a nurse, you could be an inventor. And of course, every child is going to gravitate towards that. And the other examples of jobs, they wouldn't even use engineer or nurse. They would tell you the shittiest jobs, and then they'd contrast it with inventor. So of course kids are gonna pick that. Like children would come in with a solid life plan, and they would just completely derail them with this inventor business. Kids would come in, well, what do you want to do, Susie? I want to be an RN for a couple years, and then maybe teach later on when I'm more financially stable, invest in some real estate. No. Have you considered being an inventor? And they would contrast it with the shittiest thing and be like, well, you could be a banker and stand in one spot all day. You could be a thief. You could be a parent to a very bad kid. And also your husband doesn't love you. Or you could be an inventor. Some of you might be watching and thinking, well, no, inventor is a job. There's people, no, it used to be a job. Back in like Edison's time, back when they didn't have much shit, of course it was a job title like, hey, what's the problem we're dealing with as a society? Well, we don't have enough shit. Can you please invent some more? And you would, but no, like there's no rogue scientists inventing shit, and we have plenty of shit. Now it's just people specialize to a point where people before them weren't able to specialize, and every generation gets to specialize a little bit more because the generation before them specialized so well. And then you specialize so hard that you realize there's technological limitations, and then the other people in your field with you make a thing that's slightly different. But someone who just sits and makes shit and makes news, that's not a job. But according to my teachers, it definitely was a job. You could be an inventor, or you could be a prison bitch, or you could be a human trafficking victim. Those are the three professional choices you have, and you would pick inventor, of course. But no, it's got to be hard to do the job training thing with kids, to give them options of a real world, You're going to tell every single kid in like a 30-kid classroom, like, oh, you can be a doctor, and you can be an astronaut, and you can be a lawyer and this, when in reality, only one of those kids is ever going to meet somebody who has met an astronaut. But a third of the class is like, oh, well, if being a fireman mom doesn't work out, then I guess I'll be an astronaut. If being an inventor doesn't pay the bills, then sure, I'll be an astronaut. And it's fucked up. Now, it's got to be a really hard spot to be in, being a teacher and telling 7-year-olds, telling 10-year-olds their career possibilities. Because there's some shit that you're not going to want to say to kids, There's a reality to it where if you have a 30-kid classroom, then at least one or two of those kids, their best career option is going to be to sell pussy. That's just it. How are you going to tell that to an 8-year-old? Well, look, You're going to want to start growing an Instagram presence now. So when you drop your OnlyFans, that shit has some traction. Because you're going to have like 4 or 5 good years in you. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah, I'd tell kids to be an inventor too. Shit. Be like, you can be an astronaut so you can invent shit in space. Why didn't you think of that? Yeah, that's what I would do. It's got to be a hard talk with a kid. Tell a kid she's got to sell pussy, man. Life is rough. Now, and the reason I phrase it as selling pussy and not any of the other possible variants of verbalizing sex work is that selling pussy is one of the most magical phrases I've ever heard. I heard when I was a young man. I was at work, and I was at work in the kitchen, and the chef comes up to me, and she says, "Hey, you know my other job?" And my gut response is just fucking no. Like I like people, and I like asking people questions, because people like answering questions, but I'm so bad at listening. I have the attention span of like a Labrador, and what's worse is I don't have object permanence at all when it comes to ideas. So if someone's talking and telling me something, then yeah, it's there, but as soon as they stop talking, that thing completely just disappears, gets expunged from my head forever. And also, I just turn off my brain when I'm talking to people. Like, the information I'm getting isn't important. And I learned that pretty early on, that unless I'm asking, like, a how do you do this question, if I'm asking any other kind of question, it's not going to be important. So I kind of just turn off my brain. And it's not like I'm daydreaming or thinking about anything. I'm just thinking about nothing. Like, I ask my question, and then I just turn off my brain for a bit. And then a few moments go by, and I get this little pang of anxiety that tells me, this person might think you're having an aneurysm. You need to, move your face. You need to gesticulate a little bit. Maybe grunt. Just look like you're alive. So I do that, and then I snap back into it. And if the person doesn't start frowning like something's wrong, then I'll ask another question. And that's typically just how I talk. It's not that I dislike people. I like people a lot. It's just I'm not taking in new information, and I'm not going to try to. But she asked me, do you know what my other job is? And whenever people ask me a question about like their life, I always feel like it's a fucked up kind of pop quiz. Like they figured out that I'm not really listening, and they're coming in to pop quiz me, to catch me in the act, to be like, hey, do you remember this thing I told you last week? And I'll say, yeah, of course. And then they'll say, I didn't really tell you that. I knew that you were faking it all along. But in this instance, yeah, I took a gamble. I just nodded my head. I was like, yeah. So it turns out the other place she was working at was also a restaurant. And she asked me if I remember a certain coworker. And at this point, I was just like, no, I don't remember her. But she was so wrapped up in it. She was like, look, I gotta tell somebody. And she was very excited. And I'm nosy as shit. So I was like, wait, this sounds juicy. Like, talk to me. Tell me. Let me find out, like, what's going on? What's going on with, I'm not gonna remember her shitty name anyway, with Rebecca at the place you work. And she goes, well, you know what? We saw some, cameras. People have been talking. And I'm like, yeah? She's been selling pussy out the back door this whole time. And it was like a crime novel, like finding out who the killer is, like it was her. She was selling pussy out the back door, in the living room with the candlestick holder. Just a game of Clue. Like, what was she doing selling pussy? Where? Out the back door. And it was just, her manner of delivery was so grave and serious, and also just like, I gotcha. But the sentence in itself is the trashiest sentence in the English language, and I fucking love it. It's poetry. Like, it's just a line that sticks with you for the rest of your life. It's like the first line of John Steinbeck's Cannery Row. It's poetry. Selling pussy out the back door. Like, that's better than For Sale Baby Shoes Never Worn, the Ernest Hemingway 6-word short story. Selling pussy out the back door is the best short story in 6 words you can make in the English language. It just is. It tells you everything. It's the whole exposition. It's the whole cast of characters. It's everything. And you get that shit in 6 words. Selling pussy out the back door. I bet you that woman got told she was going to be an inventor. But look, selling pussy out the back door, that's inventive as shit too. Because it just makes you think, think about the situation. How literal every part of the sentence is, you know? Like, selling pussy commoditizes it to the point where the mental image is, you get some pussy, you put it in a little cigarette cellophane and seal it off with a lighter. You sell it via handshake with a prize inside. Like you do some shitty dirt weed. It just commoditizes it to the point where it sounds like a drug deal is going on, you know? Where she would go out on a cigarette break, stand behind the dumpster, and then somebody would roll up and quickly get out of his car with the headlights off and just walk up and give a little handshake, and, he'd slap a 20 into her hand and she'd slap the little cellophane full of pussy into his hand, and they'd carry on with their day. Or was she literally prostituting out the back door while still being in the back door, you know? Just kind of back up towards the back door, rear end towards the door, you know? Just have it so just the butt is and the pussy, of course, is outside, and the rest of you still in the restaurant. And just pretend to be doing all your other like restaurant tasks. And just prepping some stuff, mixing a salad, whatever. Why is the back door open? Oh, it was getting smoky in here, whatever. And then someone just walks up. He already Venmo'd you. He knows what the deal is. Plot twist, there's no pants on. Best short story in 6 words. And look, in no way do I want to come off as sounding sanctimonious or like I'm judging this woman who was selling pussy. I am in no position to judge that. There was a time in my life where I wouldn't say I was selling dick. I think bartering is a more appropriate term. And I'm not the only one. Trust me. I'm just the first one being honest about this shit. Because gentlemen, we like to act like we're not gold digging. Yes, we are. Ask yourself honestly, have you ever been in a position where you were thinking, do I want to smash? No, but she's got food at the house. She'll buy me a pack of cigarettes, and she'll drive me to work. And then you do that shit anyway. And then you kind of build your budget around doing that frequently enough to supplement your income, so you don't lose the opportunity cost of having to buy your own pack of cigarettes and your own 40 ounce and your own gas and all this. And we gold dig like a motherfucker, we really do. But that's just dick bartering. Ladies will barter for dick, but there are no women buying dick outright. It's just a dead market. Really, ladies need to step up and buy more dick. If we truly want equality in this society, we need all the ladies to do their part. Y'all are making more money now. Spend some of it on dick. I'm not saying have a monthly dick budget that, completely drains your bank account and leaves you on the gutter, and before you know it, you gotta suck dick just to buy some dick. I'm not saying do anything fiscally irresponsible like that. I'm just saying more and more women are making more money. Reinvest some of that into trickle-down dickonomics. Splurge a little bit. Support your local sex workers. That's all I'm saying.
You made it to the end of the video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting what I'm doing. If you're an artist, if you have any questions about what I did in this video, then don't hesitate. Just let me know. I'll be more than happy to tell you about it. If you feel like doing some coloring today, it's Sunday, we're not doing shit, I've got the line work from this image as a coloring book page in the description below. Also in the description, if you need merch, if you need it, if you need a poster of this shit I drew, then that's in the description. And anything else I'm forgetting, you can find that there as well. Again, thank you so much for being here. Be good out there, take care of yourself. I'll catch you in the next one.